Welcome to my podcast, Asta from Berlin. Titled today, January 2026, Leadership Between Tradition and the Future, Why Teams Stay or Quietly Check Out. Welcome to this episode. Today is not about leadership techniques, not about tools, not about strategies. Today is about energy, about presence, and about the question of why teams stay or quietly disengage. January 2026 is not a neutral beginning of the year. It is a stress test for leadership. This January begins sensitively, almost foggy. Old certainties no longer hold. New paths are not yet fully visible. And this is exactly where leadership is decided, not externally, but in your inner posture. The new moon in Capricorn on January 18th asks a quiet but radical question. Which structures truly serve, and which ones are you maintaining out of a habit alone? Visionary leaders understand this. Stability does not come from holding on, but from conscious renewal. Quiet quitting and energetic leadership. Many people today no longer resign officially. They stay, but internally they have already left. Especially Gen Z no longer follows hierarchy. They follow energy, meaning, and integrity. Leadership today does not work through words, not through position, but through resonance. At the full moon in Cancer on January 3, this becomes especially clear, and it's still going on the days after this full moon. Teams don't need tougher goals, they need emotional safety. Those who listen now, who hold space, who hold truly present, create long-term commitment. Energy, overload, and ambition. The days around January 9 and 10 bring enormous momentum, creative force, drive, ambition, but this energy cuts both ways. It can inspire or overwhelm. Visionary leaders ask themselves now, where am I projecting my ambition onto my team? Where is clarity needed instead of speed? Where does pressure arise, not from necessity, but from old patterns? Overload does not lead to performance. It leads to quiet quitting. Tradition and innovation. Between January 15 and 17, a special window opens, a window for real reform. Not radical, not cosmetic, but sustainable. Now it becomes clear whether change is genuinely intended or just a new label on old power structures. Teams sense this always. From January 20 onward, leadership becomes visible. As energy shifts into Aquarius, leadership becomes transparent. Values, intentions, power dynamics. What matters now? Clarity instead of tactics, integrity instead of image, shared vision instead of ego. Hidden power games cost trust, often irreversibly. The major turning point, Neptune enters Aries. On January 26, a new chapter begins, not just for this month, but for many years to come. Visions no longer want to be explained or sold. They want to be lived. Teams don't follow visions on PowerPoint slides. They follow people who stand for something. Leadership is embodied or it doesn't work. End of the month, connection instead of control. The final days of January bring reconciliation, a new quality of conversation, genuine understanding. A good moment to invite feedback, clarify agreements, realign relationships. Not out of weakness, but out of inner sovereignty. To close, a question you may want to sit with. Are you still leading from tradition or already from the future? Because your team doesn't decide rationally, it decides energetically. Thank you for listening. Until the next episode. Asta from Berlin.